Hi, folks. Every once in a while, I like to kind of share that sometimes you can have a germ of an idea and you can take it so far, and there can be a bit of struggle in figuring out how the tune is going to go. I thought I would share that I went up to the nice little practice piano rooms up at my local community college, and just to take a break from the house, take a break from all the running around, and started just took a blank sheet of paper and started to just think, and just kind of started off with what I was thinking: don't do a jig. And then I thought, oh, you love reels, Liz. You should do a reel. And then somehow this little notion of an idea started, and it's a slip jig. So nothing I expected to happen happened. But I thought I'd take you through it because this is just like such early times of this. So let's say I was out a couple of hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago, and then I was at home here, and then I listened back to what I had put on my phone, and then now I'm staring at this music again, where I was trying to remember what I was thinking went into what, and not being too critical, and coming along and finding different notes. So I'm gonna try this on you. Try it on you for size, and I just basically want you to suffer with me. I think it might be a nice slip jig when all is said and done, but I do have questions. So I have a first part, and it's basically going like this. And I'm going to steer a hole through this sheet here, just so I basically get it right. So now you have to think slip jig. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Repeat. So I think it's kind of nice when I'm going this slow. That's why you were kind of hearing me going dum dee da da dee dee da da la da da la da da dee da 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 dum. But I'm not tied to it, because I think if I was going faster, dum dee da dee dee da la dum dee da dee da da la. Well, I could throw it in still, but dum dee da dee dee la da la da dee dee da dee dee. And I think that would work too. So as I was doing this, I'd only came up with a couple of different ways to go. But I think my first argument with myself was whether that first measure does get repeated. And I messed around with that a little bit, but I have a first measure, I go into a second measure, but I actually go back to the first measure and just finish it differently, and then go into a fourth measure. So here's the first measure. I'm using these notes to tie me into the next measure. I'm going back to the first measure, like I was saying. Then I'm using these notes to get to the fourth measure. The fifth measure, sixth measure, seventh measure, eighth, so you'll see that once I got done with the fourth measure, and then I went to the fifth measure, which was really basically the first measure, I started a little movement thing, which I liked. And so from the fifth measure on, and then I like that it ends there. And I'm basically going back up to an A. So it's like from the fifth measure again. Basically that chord. Or even that. Nice. Now, since I was down with that very low ending, I thought I could just stay down there. So the first measure of the second part ended up going like this. So it's... And then I go into the second measure of the second part. So the two of those back to back, I thought were pretty nice and elegant. And then I continue, and I thought not to repeat it. If I repeated the first measure, I would have gone. Instead, I decided to go. And so the first three measures are... And then I have a fourth measure. So... And from there, I'm going to do a little finesse where I'm actually bringing the tune back. So we could always just go a completely different way. And for now, I don't want to do that. And so my fifth measure is basically the first measure of the second part. My next measure is basically the fourth measure of the first part. So it's... And then pretty much the seventh and eighth measures of the first part, except that my entrances are a little bit different. I'm going to use a D to get to the B. And this was always a C to get to the A. So from the middle of the second part, I'm going to go. No. Right. So the entire second part, everything is really fluid. This may not be like this in a few days, but for right now, it's going. I repeat. And it could all change, but I think there's something nice there. I think it can be friendly to the listener to have things happen again, like the ending, the 7th and 8th bar, and the 7th and 8th bar are kind of cool, and so far that is this tune, and I really just drove the car up, sat in a room by myself, and just went, what would I think of? And yeah, would love to hear if you have the same experience this week. Get your cup of tea and just sit down and however you do it with your phone. I was definitely listening back on my phone, I should say. I was going to record writing this tune for fun, and my phone was just about out, and so I took a few pictures. So I'll show you where I started in a couple of I'll show you a couple of snaps, and yeah, there's no difficult fiddling here. I do like where it's at. I like the low part there on the second part, and yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I tried it once, backing it up on the piano badly, but there's some nice sounds, nice chords going on here, and yeah, when I piece it all together, I'll get back to you. But would love to hear if you're working on anything yourself that you'd like to share. All right.